Welcome to the Crawcast. I'm your host, George Krawczak, and this is what happened at Saturday night main event. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Now let's get started. The first match was Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. This match started out with a huge brawl, and overall, it was a fine match. Honestly, nothing really interesting happened during the match, but the big news is Bronson Reed returned and attacked CM Punk. So he has now joined Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman to form this group. And honestly, Bronson Reed seems a little bit unnecessary, but he does add at least a little bit of dimension to this group because now he's kind of like the big man of the group. Also, it was interesting because CM Punk kind of jumped over the top rope and dived at Seth Rollins, and it looked like he landed on his shoulder, and it just looked like a bad landing. And overall, I just hope he's okay and hopefully he's not injured, but it just didn't look like a good landing. Overall, this match was nothing significant. It was just okay, nothing significant. The next match is Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega for the United States Championship. And I do have to say, I really love the president gimmick Chelsea Green is doing with her kind of like running for a second term, trying to be a two-time reigning United States champion. But overall, this was not a great match. There was a lot of botched spots. The code red from the top rope to win was nice from Zelina Vega, but overall, it wasn't that great. A lot of botched moves. And Zelina Vega went for a 619 and kicked Chelsea Green in the face and maybe even broke her nose. And overall, it just wasn't a great match. It was kind of funny. I liked the part when Piper Niven interfered and pulled Zelina Vega down off the top rope. And McAfee was like, oh, Piper Niven just dropped her, which was a nice, fun little callback and nice reference. But overall, it just really wasn't a good match. The next match on the card was John Cena versus R-Truth. R-Truth came out dressed exactly like John Cena, and at times it was hard to tell the two of them apart because they look exactly alike. So John Cena attacked Truth before the bell. They both did kind of the running shoulder tackle and five knuckle shuffle spot. Then R-Truth hit Cena with the AA, and then he held him on the STF. Cena was going to hit R-Truth with the belt, and then he stopped himself, kind of hinting at maybe a face turn, but then he hit R-Truth with a low blow, hit him with the AA, and won. And after the match, he hit R-Truth with the title. Honestly, the thing I'm most happy about this match is that Travis Scott didn't return. I'm just happy he's not back because I think they should take the L. Okay, WrestleMania was a little bit wasted with Travis Scott. Don't try to fix it by inserting more Travis Scott into things. Just have Cena do his own thing. Abandon The Rock, abandon Travis Scott, just have Cena be on his own. And I do think that was a really good spot of kind of hinting at a face turn and then Cena just going, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm still a heel. And then it was teased that uh, John Cena wants to ruin wrestling by helping Logan Paul beat Jey Uso for the world title. They had a segment there, which was kind of interesting. So the next match was Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a steel cage. It was pretty funny because Jesse Ventura had no idea who Pat McAfee was and kind of got confused there. So Drew McIntyre attacked Damian Priest before the match and brought two chairs into the cage. There was a really nice suplex off the top of the cage, and Drew McIntyre missed his claymore through the chair. Damian Priest hit Drew McIntyre in the throat with a chair, and then hit Drew with the South of Heaven chokeslam. Priest also hit Drew McIntyre with the concerto, and he walked out the door for a win. It felt a little bit weird that Drew McIntyre won because it felt like this was supposed to be the final match in their series. But if you don't count Money in the Bank cash-ins, they're really 1-1. Where Drew beat Damian Priest at WrestleMania, and then Priest won him here, and it feels like there kind of should be a third match, but I don't see that happening. And it just feels a little bit weird because it feels like Drew McIntyre is a main eventer and Damian Priest right now is just kind of a mid-carder. And it's kind of like, where do we go from here? I assume Drew McIntyre was probably originally going to win, but then they decided to change it because it was announced that Drew McIntyre was kind of having neck issues and struggling to turn his head. So I assume Drew's going to take some time off to kind of recover and heal up. And it was also pretty funny because Jesse Ventura absolutely lost it on Damian Priest for escaping through the cage door, which actually I agree with him. This is how I feel. I don't like pinfalls and submissions in cage matches, and I don't like escaping the door. I kind of like over the top rope, and that's the only, or over the top of the cage, and that's the only way you can win. So I kind of agree with Jesse Ventura, but it was just funny because he kind of went off script and it was like, uh, Michael Cole kept saying, "Oh, what a dominant victory and what a really nice win, an important win for Damian Priest." And Jesse Ventura kept going, "Oh, what a coward and what a terrible person he is for escaping through the door. He should have just tried to climb over the cage." I agree with Ventura in principle, but it was just funny because he just wasn't like sticking to the script or message. So the main event is Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Jey Uso retained. Also, it was kind of a fine match. Overall, this pay-per-view, really nothing happened. It felt like none of these matches were really long enough to kind of have breathing room. And it was interesting. So in the middle of the match, Jey Uso hit the splash, which looked like he was going for the win. And then all of a sudden, the crowd absolutely lost it. And I'm like wondering, what's going on? Why is the crowd losing it when Jey Uso just kind of hit the splash? It doesn't really make sense. Then all of a sudden, John Cena comes in and interrupts the pinfall. And John Cena starts attacking Jey Uso. Then Cody Rhodes returns and beats up John Cena. And I think everyone saw this coming because Saturday Night Main Event took place in Tampa, Florida, and everyone saw the viral image of Cody Rhodes being in Orlando, Florida at Universal's new theme park. I believe it's Epic Adventure, it's called, where Cody Rhodes is on the roller coaster and he's making the weird face, kind of barely hanging on and surviving. So everyone knew Cody Rhodes was in Florida at this time, so it kind of seemed pretty obvious that he returned. So Cody Rhodes returned and helped Jey Uso win the match, and then it was announced that Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso will face John Cena and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank. It's kind of weird not having any actual world title matches at Money in the Bank because I can't imagine whoever wins the men's Money in the Bank is going to be able to really cash in on either of them. And also, what do you do then? Kind of thing. Like, do you cash in on the World Heavyweight Championship or do you cash in on John Cena of the WWE Championship? Overall, just weird having both your top champions in a tag team match against each other, but it'll be interesting to see. And also, I think it's going to be interesting. So it will be Jey Uso versus Gunther on the Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank. And to me, that screams cash in. I think what will probably happen is Gunther will beat Jey Uso, but then Goldberg will return and attack Gunther and beat him down. And then whoever is the men's Money in the Bank winner will come in, cash in, and pin Gunther, which will set up Gunther versus Goldberg because Goldberg cost Gunther his title. That's what I think will happen. So overall, this is kind of a bad show. Nothing really eventful happened. I get it that's like technically not a pay-per-view. It's kind of like a gray area. But overall, it just really wasn't a good show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And like I said, if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. And I'll see you on the next one.